The Federal Reserve, America's central bank, has issued a stark warning about the potential economic fallout from President Trump's tariffs. These tariffs, essentially taxes on imported goods, have been a cornerstone of the president's economic policy. However, the Fed's pronouncements suggest that these tariffs could have serious, unintended consequences for the American economy.
The warning comes at a time of already heightened economic uncertainty, leaving many Americans wondering about the future. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, in a recent statement, expressed deep concern about the tariffs' potential to trigger inflation.
Powell, a seasoned economist, understands the delicate balance required to maintain a healthy economy. His warning carries significant weight, signaling that the Fed perceives the tariffs as a legitimate threat to economic stability. The ramifications of these tariffs reach far beyond abstract economic indicators. They have the potential to impact the daily lives of every American.
The Federal Reserve's warning is not merely a theoretical exercise, it's rooted in real-world observations. The tariffs, according to the Fed, are already contributing to rising prices for businesses and consumers. This increase in costs, if left unchecked, could lead to a decrease in consumer spending, the engine that drives the American economy.
The Fed's warning, therefore, is a call to action, urging policymakers to carefully consider the potential consequences of their decisions. Jerome Powell's warning went beyond the immediate threat of inflation, extending to the possibility of increased unemployment. The tariffs, he argued, could disrupt global supply chains, forcing American companies to adjust their operations in ways that might lead to job losses.
This warning is particularly concerning given that the unemployment rate has remained relatively low in recent years. The Fed's concern is not limited to the direct impact of tariffs on specific industries. There's a growing fear that the tariffs could trigger a wider economic slowdown.
If businesses become uncertain about the future, they may hold back on investment and hiring, leading to a decline in economic activity. This ripple effect could impact everything from consumer confidence to the housing market.
Powell's warning about unemployment is particularly significant, given the human cost of job losses. Unemployment doesn't just impact individuals, it affects families and communities. The Fed, by highlighting this risk, is attempting to bring the human cost of these economic policies into sharp focus.
The current situation has drawn comparisons to the disastrous Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930. That legislation, enacted during the Great Depression, raised tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods. Instead of protecting American industries, as intended, it exacerbated the depression by triggering a global trade war.
The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act stands as a stark reminder of the unintended consequences of protectionist trade policies. While the Trump administration argues that its tariffs are necessary to protect American jobs and industries, critics point to the Smoot-Hawley example as evidence that such policies can backfire spectacularly.
The current situation, while not identical to the 1930s, carries enough similarities to raise alarm bells among economists and historians alike. The parallels between the current situation and the Smoot-Hawley era are undeniable. The imposition of sweeping tariffs, the potential for retaliation from trading partners, and the risk of a global economic slowdown all echo the events of the 1930s.
The lessons of history are clear. Protectionist trade policies often lead to unintended and damaging consequences.
In response to the economic uncertainty generated by the tariffs, the Federal Reserve has signaled its intention to maintain steady interest rates for an extended period. This approach, designed to provide stability and predictability in the market, reflects the Fed's understanding of the delicate balancing act required in the current economic climate.
By keeping interest rates steady, the Fed aims to encourage borrowing and investment without further fueling inflation. The implementation of a 10% tariff on all U.S. imports, effective April 5, 2025, has drawn sharp criticism from international trading partners. China, in particular, has expressed its displeasure, signaling its intention to respond with retaliatory tariffs of its own.
This escalation of trade tensions has the potential to spiral out of control, harming the global economy. The Federal Reserve's warning comes amidst growing public anxiety about the direction of the economy.
Protests against the tariffs have erupted across the country, with Americans from all walks of life expressing concern about the potential impact on their livelihoods. The images of these protests serve as a stark reminder that economic policy is not merely an abstract debate, It has real-world consequences for real people.
The situation remains fluid, with the potential for both escalation and de-escalation. The Federal Reserve, for its part, will continue to monitor economic indicators closely, adjusting its policies as needed to fulfill its mandate of promoting maximum employment and stable prices. The coming months will be crucial in determining whether the U.S. can navigate this turbulent economic period without triggering a full-blown trade war.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.